I'd just like to put on the record at the start of this, I've been a carer for both of my children. I've been a carer for my grandchildren. In fact, they play hell with me when I'm on my own with them. They stay up late. They convince me that I don't have to put them to bed early. They do all sorts of things. My two children ring me constantly when they have problems. They don't seem to feel that they have to talk only to their mother when there's a crisis. They talk to me. I collected my kids from school. I dropped them to school. I wasn't a great dad when it came to changing nappies and things like that, but I learned as time went on. So I favour the term parent rather than mother or father when we're talking about things. But I'm also mindful of people like my colleague Tom Clonan, who was a carer. And many fathers like him with disabled children have to play a full part within the caring of their children. Only yesterday, I hope you don't mind me saying this, Tom, but only yesterday, Senator Clonan told me, I don't think yourself and your wife have ever had a night alone. One of you have always had to be there caring all the time. That's what care is about. And when you look at what Senator Ruane was talking about there, in some communities around the country, Tom and his wife would be able to get a weekend away because the community would take over. And that happens in parts of rural Ireland, it happens all over the place. So I actually favour your amendment that includes community. I think it's a brilliant amendment, and it's sad that we find ourselves up against the clock here and that can't be taken. It really is. But I want to talk for a moment about the strive, the word strive. Minister, I accept your bona fides, that when you put this word in, that you meant the state would do everything in its power to support. However, let's talk about the other side of striving within the state. Let's talk about Bridget McCall. Let's talk about Vicky Phelan. Let's talk about mother and baby homes. Let's talk about all of the cruel things that the heartless state have done and how hard they strive to drive people into the ground who take on the state. And if some poor unfortunate family find themselves in a situation in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time, because of this amendment to the Constitution, that they feel they have not been taken care of, that they feel the state has not striven to give them the support that they need, they will be driven to hell and back to try and prove their case in court. I am absolutely shocked that Carers Ireland have come out in full support of this. The very people who depend on the state, and how many people come in here day in, day out to talk to us, to tell us about the struggles they have in getting supports for their children. Tom Clonan here has spoken several times about the carers, or about the children with disabilities that are being refused basic services. This state does not strive right now, and I'm not so sure that by putting this amendment into the Constitution that it will change the welfare of those who depend on the state. And that's why when I think of the community amendment and bringing the community in on the care side of things, I think if a family have an entire community behind them, it's much easier to convince those who hold the purse strings to make sure that they get the supports they need. So I'm really sorry. I said it to you yesterday and I meant it, and today I'm confirming it. While the word strive continues to be in this particular amendment to the Constitution, I cannot support it, and I would ask people not to support it. Nothing against you and your efforts to bring this. I commend you for what you're trying to do. However, the wording is wrong. And even those who are supportive of the two changes to the amendment, and we just heard Senator Ruane saying that she had difficulty with the word strive herself. And she's struggling to find a way to sell this to her community. So, for me, you have not met the needs of those who are involved in care all day, every day. You have not met the needs of the countless mothers, countless fathers who are there looking after a disabled child whose lives have been driven or should I say have been controlled by virtue of the fact that they have a child they need to care for. And I have seen cases myself, I can't go into detail on them, but I've seen cases where an entire family was completely and utterly tied down with care of children. One particular family I was aware of had to have nurses 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year in their home, where their sitting room was turned into a hospital ward. Strive. I've seen how this state can strive, and I've seen how cruel this state can be to those who are most in need. So I'm afraid with the word strive, you are not convincing me that we would truly go the extra mile when we need to. I'll leave it at that.